Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at part of my Game Boy game collection. Pretty small collection right now. It's only about 28 games, but I'm going to get some more soon. Make some run to the pawn shops. Keep an eye out on, all the websites, eBay, maybe Syndico. I'm not sure. I've heard about that. Yahoo Auctions on Syndico. Uh, we're going to look at these 9 today. These are all of the original Game Boy and Game Boy Colors. These are all original Game Boy. These 6 and this one, and then these 2 are Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color is generally characterized by a clear casing. You can see all the components. It's pretty cool. We're gonna look at these 9 today, and we're gonna look at all of the GBA games I have. Here's a handful of some of them. All the GBA games I have, in some different parts. I'll probably split those up into 2 different parts. The GBA games, and then as I get more games that come in, I'll make a video on them and give you guys an update on them. So these are the 9 games we're going to do today. I think we're going to start off with Pac-Man. Before we get into Pac-Man, actually, I'm gonna be using a Game Boy SP Cobalt Blue to look at all of these. This is a magnifying glass attachment. It's third party, made by Intech. You really just want to keep it on once you snap it on because it's kind of hard to get off. But basically, that's a magnifying glass for your Game Boy. You flip it down there, and you can use it while you're playing, and it actually works quite well. It works quite well when you're playing it. It does magnify it. What it basically does is you can look at this screen, and it takes this screen from this size to, like if this entire top part was just this screen, it'd be about that big with this magnifying glass. That's what it looks like. So you don't see this black border at all, and you don't see this blue border at all. It's just like one giant screen. So I'd say gives it about a 50% increase in size. So it goes from 100% size to 150%, something like that. But first we're going to look at Pac-Man. This came out in 1991 for the Game Boy. This is one of the 2 games that I have apart, because I had to clean the pins and stuff out on it. It didn't work. This is what the inside of Pac-Man looks like. This is the ROM chip, which has all the game on it. I'm not actually sure what this is. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff. I kind of know some of it. I know how to solder a little bit. I just taught myself the other day. You can see that blemish down there on that pin. I had to try and clean that up. I just cleaned the pins a bunch and it worked fine. But so this is Pac-Man. If you didn't know, if you hit the D-pad and the A and B buttons when putting in a Game Boy game, you can change the color palette. And for Pac-Man, I like this color palette of red and yellow. Also, if you have a Game Boy or Game Boy Color game and an SP, the shoulder buttons, since those weren't on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, can make it wide or thin, or whatever the aspect ratio. It changes the aspect ratio of it on the Game Boy. So this is Pac-Man. It's pretty outdated at this point because it's basically just an arcade port of just Pac-Man to a Game Boy cartridge. It's Pac-Man. So as you can see, it's just a basic game of Pac-Man. You get a certain amount of lives. You get a life at 10,000 like a normal Pac-Man. Run out of lives, it's game over. It takes you back to the main menu. It's just Pac-Man. Really, 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 really simple. Just a port of the 1980 game. That's Pac-Man. Next up, we have Tetris Plus, which is a version of Tetris for the Game Boy. I would assume this is the sequel to Tetris. I actually didn't pay up. I haven't looked into it that much. This isn't normal Tetris. It's Tetris Plus. So you got to keep that in mind. We'll just keep the average color scheme on this one. My first complaint with this cartridge is this menu at the beginning is unskippable, and it's quite long. It's like 10 seconds of this before you go to the main menu. So this actually has characters in it. There's a professor and then these 2 kids. Oh, I assume they're kids. I don't know. They look like children to me. Uh, it's got multiple modes. It's got classic mode, which everyone knows about. You know, you just stack the blocks until you lose. It's got puzzle mode. Puzzle mode. I'll show you puzzle mode in a minute. Actually, when I go in depth, I'm gonna go in depth on all these games in videos too. Puzzle mode. It's got like this spike thing at the top that's held on by a chain, and it lowers itself while you have to get the guy out. You have to like remove the blocks to get the guy to the bottom of the screen, and if the spikes touch him, then you lose. It's kind of interesting. It's like a campaign mode of Tetris. It's kind of strange. Versus 2-player, it's a link cable. Edit, you make your own Tetris thing, and then you play it. That's pretty cool. Options, it's got a sound test and stuff in it. But I mean, yeah, like I show basic Tetris. You have the level select, and then you got basic Tetris. So yeah, that's Tetris Plus. Next, we're going to talk about Frogger. This is another port of just the arcade game of Frogger. Good old Frogger. Hopping across the road to escape the cars. You know, typical Frogger. Nope, I just died. I don't know why. I used to be quite good at this game. I suppose not anymore. I'm also trying to do this looking through a camera lens. So that probably didn't help. Okay, yep, and then you know Frogger, you fill up the top, then you win. So that's Frogger. We got Centipede. Again, another direct port of the arcade game. This actually has quite a few difficulties in it. It's pretty cool. Centipede, man. So, there you go. Centipede. I actually have multiple ports of Pac-Man, Centipede, and Frogger. I have this Frogger for the Game Boy. I have Frogger for the Atari 2600. I have Pac-Man for the Game Boy. I have Namco Museum for the Game Boy Advance, which has Miss Pac-Man on it. And then I have Miss Pac-Man for the Sega Genesis, which is my favorite of the three. And then I have Centipede for the Game Boy, Centipede on this multi-cart of arcade games I have for the Genesis, and Centipede for the Atari 2600 as well. We're going to take a look at Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is a licensed game that actually had quite a bit of success, and it was pretty praised as a pretty good RPG to this day. The first one, the Sorcerer's Stone, the game had its issues. It was a little slow, I guess, from what I've seen. This is apparently really good. You know, licensed games, they're generally not that good, but this is. I haven't played it because I plan on playing some other games. But it takes the storyline of Chamber of Secrets and it makes it an RPG. And the files on here were on it when I got this. I got this at a pawn shop a couple months ago. As you can see, it has some profiles on it already. I probably won't delve into this at all in this video because I'm sure it's quite in-depth, so I'm going to play it some before reviewing it as well. I'm going to play all the games that I review. Yay. I'm going to save these two for last. I'm going to go into the Donkey Kong lands. I think there's a Donkey Kong Land 3. I don't own it. I may acquire it soon. These carts are also... This is also very dirty. Especially this one in the corner. I'm gonna clean this after this video. I never really noticed how dirty they were. Donkey Kong Land. So the Donkey Kong Country games for the SNES, these are not really ports of those games. They're just the Game Boy versions of them, I suppose. But it's not a port. They're different. They have different maps, different layout. The levels are many of the levels are the same. Some of them are different. There's some different enemy types. It's pretty interesting. I'll go ahead and play the first level. The first level is like the first level in the first Donkey Kong Country game, but this has different features and stuff in it, and I'm sure the bananas are laid out differently as well. Get your barrel, get Diddy Kong, you know, the usual. Well, that was my bad. I just look terrible at games when I make these videos, don't I? So, yeah. This is Donkey Kong Land. You know, get the K to make the word Kong. Your typical game. The life counter is kind of weird, though. It doesn't have a number. It just, you get extra hearts. You can have this entire bottom row just filled with hearts, and that's your lives. And it's really hard to tell how many you have, because there's just this massive line of hearts. There's not like a number for it. And then Donkey Kong Country 2 is just, you know, Donkey Kong. This is Donkey Kong Land 2, excuse me. Donkey Kong Land 2 is just Donkey Kong Country 2, but like, oh. Let's even get, ooh, did not feel or sound good. I'm gonna have to clean the pins on this one. It hasn't been used in so long. Take some isopropyl alcohol, rub the pins. If that doesn't work, take the casing apart, clean it with an eraser, white eraser only. I might do a video on those cleaning methods sometime too. This is just Donkey Kong Country 2 made into a Game Boy version. Same basic concept of levels, basic plot, if you could call it that. You do play it as Diddy and Dixie in this one like you do in Donkey Kong Country 2. It's a good game. These are both really good for their time. From the reviews I've seen, they were pretty praised for their portrayal of the DKC series on Game Boy. Then we move on to our last two. We have Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, which is definitely one of my most favorite Game Boy games I've ever played ever. I've had this for, I'd say, a month or two. I've already put tons of hours into it. I didn't really play it that much till this past week. I have put tons of hours into it, though. At the beginning, you'll notice a note from Peach. This is because I beat the game on like the normal 1985 mode. That doesn't appear until after you beat that. This is basically just the NES stuff put onto a Game Boy game, but it has way more bonus features. This is the records, keeps track of your score records. This album has pictures in it, and you unlock the pictures by doing certain things in game. The toy box has a bunch of features in it as well. That you only start with the top two, the calendar and the fortune telling thing, and you get the bottom two through other means. Has the full original 1985 game in it, and the challenge mode. Challenge mode's when you beat the NES version the first time, then it starts over, but all the Goombas are changed into Buzzy Beetles and platforms become smaller. The star in this game means that it's challenge mode. If you reach a certain score, you can unlock You versus Boo, which is where you try to race Boo to the finish line, to the flagpole. And then you can also unlock Super Mario Brothers for Super Players, which is the entirety of the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2, which is known as Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels in the US. It's the entire game put into here. So there's 2 whole Mario games in this cartridge, but you have to unlock this one. And then challenge involves you having to get all the red coins in a level, a high enough score in a level, or finding the secret Yoshi egg in the level, and then collecting all of each of these items on every single level lets you get medals. If you have all 3 on every single level, which is like the hardest thing to do in the whole game, then you get like the best medal. So this game has tons and tons and tons of stuff to do. I'm definitely going to keep playing it for quite some time. I'll probably do a pretty in-depth review on this when I get to it. And lastly, we have Pokemon Silver, which I'm really looking forward to getting into. I've played this pretty extensively on an emulator. It's been a couple years since I've done that, though. This is the other cartridge I have apart because I had to do some extensive work to it to get it to work. Clean the pins multiple times. This chip up here, my soldering skills are not that good yet, but I did. I attempted to reflow this chip and this chip. This is the MM1134 chip, which like helps the game booting away, sort of. And then this has the, don't quote me on that actually, I'm not sure what this does. I just know what the names of these. MM1134 chip, I read that it might be the issue to what was happening. So I tried to reflow it, which involves you using a soldering iron to like, just heat up and respread the solder that's already on there. That didn't seem to do much. So I added solder to it myself very meticulously. And then on the ROM chip, I also tried reflowing and that didn't work, so I added a little bit of solder, and that actually ended up working. So the game works now. I'll show you that in a second. The battery is not on this right now because the battery is dead, which means this cannot hold a save file. I'm going to have to get a new battery and soldered onto here, which is why I cannot play this yet. Because the only way to keep a save on this, if I play it now, is by keeping the game on all the time, and I would have to shut it off to safely put the new battery on, and I would lose my progress anyway, so there's no point in doing that. Pokemon Silver is in the second gen of Pokemon games. Silver, Gold, Crystal. They're generally considered one of the best Pokemon generations of all time. This improved upon the first generation games in virtually every possible way you could think of. And it's just a good game. Silver's the one with Lugia on the main menu and in the game. Ho-Oh's in Gold. Suicune is in Silver. I always find it weird they put Suicune in Silver because Entei and Raikou are not in their own Pokemon games. Suicune's in that one for some reason. But yeah, I'm going to get a battery for this. Just going to show the main menu because I just love the main intro menu on this. I've actually had this cartridge for 4 years. It's never worked. I had a guy tell me he was going to give me a free Pokemon game. He had 2 Pokemon games. He had Leaf Green and Silver, and he wanted me to choose one. I said Silver, and he gave it to me, and it didn't work. And I told him that, and then he gave me Leaf Green with it too, and Leaf Green works. I actually have it right here. Go over this in another video. That's Pokemon Silver. Got your options. It's going to be a good time. Update you guys when I get a battery for this. It's going to be several weeks probably. But yeah, that's my Game Boy Collection Part 1. Just run back through the games that we went through in the order that we went through them in. Roughly, we start with Pac-Man. Pac-Man for the Game Boy. Tetris Plus for the Game Boy. Frogger for the Game Boy. Centipede for the Game Boy. Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy. Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy. I went through Harry Potter before these, but Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the Game Boy Color. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Game Boy Color. And Pokemon Silver for the Game Boy, which also has this, you can see how it's a sparkly shell. I've always liked that. All the Pokemon games have unique shells, but I hope you guys enjoyed. That's this Pokemon collection that not Pokemon, Game Boy Collection, part of it. We'll go over the other 19 I have in a couple other videos. I'll probably make those pretty soon. I'll probably upload, I'm going to say weekly. I'm going to try and do at least one a week. For a while, I might just upload every other day or even every day. Depends on what I have to do, how much time I have due to the pandemic. I have quite a bit of time on my hands currently. Going to be using this trusty Cobalt Blue SP in all of these reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Since the channel's past 100 subscribers, which is very impressive, I'm actually beginning to try to think of a name to rename the channel because I don't actually know what to call this channel. Right now, its name is just a username I've used in a lot of places, and I just had it as my username, and I put some YouTube videos up for fun, and I guess they've gained quite a bit of traction. So you guys can help me figure out what to name the channel. That would be really cool. Yep, if you guys enjoyed, let me know. Like I said, like 4 times now. And yep, y'all have a good day. See ya.